All right, let's get right into it. Welcome to today's explainer. We're decoding the exact legal and operational steps for holding your Kansas City rental properties in an LLC. If you're an out-of-state investor looking to build or protect your portfolio in the Kansas City metro, this is absolutely crucial. This topic touches the very foundation of how your entire investment is structured. We're tackling what is probably the biggest source of anxiety out-of-state investors face: deciding whether holding a property in your personal name or an LLC is the smartest move for asset protection. I mean, it dictates everything, right? From your tax treatment to your insurance, all the way down to how your property management agreement is actually written. Most investors know they probably need an LLC, but the details of how to execute it without making costly mistakes, that can be incredibly overwhelming.
So here's our roadmap for today. We'll look at your personal name versus an LLC, how to form your Missouri LLC, that pesky due on sale clause, Kansas City local compliance, and finally, your local KC partner.
Let's dive right into part 1, personal name versus LLC.
Operating without an LLC? It's basically leaving all your hard-earned assets out in the freezing cold. Think about it. One icy sidewalk where a tenant slips, a contractor filing a mechanic's lien, or a fair housing complaint could threaten literally everything you own personally. If a claim exceeds your insurance coverage, your primary house, your personal bank accounts, your retirement savings, even your other rental properties are all exposed. On the flip side, a properly run LLC acts as a powerful legal shield. When a property is held in an LLC, typically only the assets inside that specific entity are available to satisfy a judgment. Your personal assets remain completely protected.
But listen, an LLC is only as strong as how you actually run it. First off, absolutely no commingling funds. If you use your personal checking account for rental income, courts can do what's called piercing the corporate veil, which essentially tears down your legal shield and holds you personally liable. Second, you cannot miss the $50 annual registration due between January 1st and April 1st. After 60 days of noncompliance, your LLC faces administrative dissolution, meaning it can't even hold title. Third, update your landlord insurance to name the LLC as the insured, or you're going to have a massive gap in coverage. And finally, don't over-engineer it. A first-time investor doesn't need some complex multi-state holding company. Keep it simple.
Okay, moving right along to part 2, forming your Missouri LLC.
If your property is physically located in Kansas City, forming in Missouri is a total no-brainer. It's incredibly affordable. The online filing fee is just $50 compared to a steep $160 over in Kansas. Missouri also offers strong member privacy. The public records only show the organizer and your registered agent, so your personal name and ownership percentages stay completely private. Plus, Missouri allows for series LLCs, which is a fantastic tool for investors looking to scale their portfolios cost-effectively later on. The big takeaway? You do not need to overcomplicate things with trendy, expensive out-of-state options like Wyoming or Delaware if your property is right here in Missouri.
Which brings us to part 3, the due on sale clause.
Now, this is the elephant in the room that causes so much unnecessary panic. Will the bank call your loan if you transfer the deed to your new LLC? Well, the Garn-St. Germain Act of 1982 is a federal law that explicitly protects property transfers to living trusts. However, transfers to your LLC are technically not protected by this act. That means transferring your rental property from your personal name to your LLC can, in theory, give your lender the right to accelerate the loan and demand full repayment.
But let's look at the practical reality here, because this should really put your mind at ease. In practice, lenders rarely enforce this if the borrower remains the same person, the property is properly insured, and the payments are made on time. Calling a performing loan costs the lender money. To back this up, Fannie Mae actually updated its servicing guidelines in 2016 to expressly permit these exact transfers to LLCs, as long as the LLC is controlled or majority owned by the original borrower. So while the risk isn't exactly zero, especially with smaller portfolio lenders, it's incredibly rare in the real world.
All right, let's pivot to part 4, Kansas City local compliance.
So, having an LLC does not give you a free pass from local bureaucracy. If your property is in Kansas City, Missouri, you have very specific mandatory obligations. You have to file Form RD-100 with the Revenue Division to set up your tax accounts because you are subject to the city's 1% earnings tax on net rental profits. On top of that, you absolutely must register through the mandatory Healthy Homes Rental Inspection Program. This ensures safe conditions for tenants and costs $25 per unit annually, plus a $25 application fee. You simply cannot skip these steps.
Now, a quick heads up. If your properties are located across the state line on the Kansas side, places like Overland Park, Olathe, or Lenexa in Johnson County, the local compliance burden is generally a lot lighter. This is because Kansas state laws actively limit local rental inspection programs, unlike the Missouri side. It's a prime example of why having hyper-local knowledge of the KC Metro is literally vital for out-of-state investors.
Which leads us perfectly into Part 5, your local Kansas City partner.
Navigating all this legal and regulatory maze from another state is, well, it's daunting. And that's exactly why remote investors turn to Alpine Property Management, Kansas City. Founded by Marcus and Kara Painter, they bring over 12 years of deep, hyper-local property management experience, and they manage over 250 residential properties right now across the metro. They specialize specifically in working with remote and out-of-state investors, which means they know exactly how to handle the unique challenges of building a portfolio from hundreds of miles away.
To completely dodge that loan transfer anxiety we talked about earlier, Alpine actually recommends a very specific order of operations before you even close on a new property. Step 1, form your Missouri LLC. Step 2, get a free EIN from the IRS. Step 3, open your business bank account. And Step 4, close on the property directly in the LLC's name. By doing it this way, you eliminate the due on sale clause issue right out of the gate, so everything is set up flawlessly from day one.
What really makes Alpine a game changer is how they handle the operational headaches. They handle all that local compliance so you don't have to lift a finger. They coordinate the Healthy Homes registration, they manage the Form RD100 filing, and crucially, management agreements are executed directly in your LLC's name, not your personal name. They even make sure your insurance properly lists the LLC. They are essentially the team that makes the operational side of Kansas City investing simple for someone who doesn't live here.
So here's the bottom line. If you're an out-of-state investor looking at Kansas City rental property, or you already own rentals here and want to make sure your LLC and compliance are buttoned up, Alpine Property Management handles all of this. They manage over 250 properties, they work with LLC-held properties every day, and they coordinate everything from Healthy Homes registration to your management agreement being set up correctly in your entity's name. You can reach them at 816-343-4520 or visit alpinekansascity.com.
As we wrap up today's explainer, take a hard look at your current setup. Is your hard-earned real estate portfolio truly an impenetrable fortress, or are you just one icy sidewalk away from financial disaster? Build your legal shield, follow the right steps, and rely on the experts on the ground. Until next time, keep learning and keep investing smart.